Welcome to Hashtime with Navguzi Chwanuka. This is a place where we help you unravel social constructs, discuss self-development in line with mental health, emotional well-being, and everything in between that directly or indirectly affects us in the millennial world around us. If you're hearing my voice for the first time and are the kind of person who is not scared of being a better version of yourself even if it requires you to contradict who you were 24 hours ago, consider this your virtual home. I'm your host, Navguzi Chwanuka, and I cannot wait to engage with you in the various conversations. So, in the spirit of reflection and assessment, I decided to create a poll on the different social media platforms of the podcast. And the question was, overall, how has 2022 treated you mentally? And there were three options that someone had to choose from. There was smooth, there was one hell of a bumpy ride, and the other was a fair balance of the two. So, I'm going to look at the results on the different platforms. When you look at the Instagram participants, you find that most of them chose a fair balance of the two. That's ranking at 55%. One hell of a bumpy ride coming second, and that is at 36%. And then smooth, hey man, I admire the people that selected smooth. It ranks at 9%. And then coming to Twitter, I had 10 votes, and one hell of a bumpy ride ranked highest. That's at 70%, and then a fair balance of both at 30%. When we got to Facebook, there were 38 voters, and one hell of a bumpy ride still ranked highest, and that was at 47%. And a fair balance of the two above ranks at 42%, and then smooth, I am admiring these people who selected smooth. Like, yay, you guys, how did you do it? I think I need to talk to one of them so that they share with me. They rank at 10%. And while I was editing this particular, journal, I would say, I remembered I started the podcast in the same spirit. I was looking at the best way to set goals for the new year. So what I'm doing for these bonus journals is having a moment of reflection with the people that featured on the podcast in the first 4 months of 2022. And today we are having none other than Kaggwa. Let's jump into it. Kaggwa, welcome to the podcast once again in the year.
Oh, thank you.
So ever since I don't have my calendar here, I should have been checking the exact date I released your episode. From the time we last talked on the episode, that is, because
Yes.
Let us assume I have not been talking to you from then.
Okay. Like you said, let's assume. Yeah, let's just assume.
Let's just assume. So from that time on the podcast until today, what has 2022 been like for you?
2022 has been a movie. Like I would say, it's been a movie. One lost a lot of friends. Like I think, I don't know, there was that time when people were literally dying every week.
This year?
I knew many of them. Yeah, this year. Forget the deaths of COVID in 2021, but 2022, there was a time people that I knew, most of them actually were people that either worked at Monitor once or were still working at Monitor. And I knew many of them, had talked to many of them. So there was that time which I think was one of the most challenging times of, people were dying like all the time. And then, you know how you become very anxious and you're like, because I think one of the guys died in his sleep, like he had gone to visit the mom, died in his sleep. So the mom phoned him, and the mom was a doctor. So he kind of got to know what was going on, I think, after doing a few checks. So, like, that was really traumatizing that I think for 2 days straight, there was a time I slept in my house without locking it. Like you kind of leave it open and you're like, I wouldn't want to die from in here because I stay alone. And you think, I wouldn't want to die in here, then probably people just find me days later. So it was traumatizing. That was around June. It was around June, slightly after my birthday. Quite a hard time.
Those are all, that's almost close to, that's a mixture of birthday blues and then grief.
Yes. And then of course there are friends you fall out with and they kind of stop talking. Yeah, there are those ones too. Yeah, and I think it's still the year that I really became broke, but like someone told me, that wasn't being broke, that was for a purpose, because that time I was paying for land, managed to pay for it.
Congratulations! Yeah, you were talking about something.
I know. Yeah, so that was really amazing. Like, went out, paid for land, and got done with it. Like, man, that thing kept me broke for okay, it didn't keep me broke, like it's an investment. Only for us to get in December and it rained heavily, and you know how it rains heavily in the morning, and then you're like, what if we sell this one and buy a car?
The competition of, okay, has your land driven you to work?
Yeah. So like there's that morning you wake up and it's raining heavily, and then you need to be somewhere and you're like, but what if? Like, can someone just give me a card, I give them this land? But then of course, yeah, that did happen. I still have the land. Yeah, you know, I started my podcast.
You did? Wait, when was that? Could that have been... Wait, May?
That was around May. That was around May. And then when this thing started happening in June, like I stopped releasing episodes. There's a lot to deal with at that time. I think I've just started even releasing more episodes, and at the moment there are more solos, because right now I think I need to just redirect the entire podcast.
Yeah. When you weren't releasing a lot, I assumed it was just the first stages. Rather, you know how hard they can be. So I was like, yeah, I think he's just still getting a hang of it. Because I wasn't consistent either. If you look at the first year.
Oh.
Hey, my dear.
Okay.
So I was very sure you might be having the thing of imposter syndrome at your uncles. But hearing these, I'm like, whoa, there is a lot that happens in the background that we never get to know.
Yeah, by the way, to one extent that I still have an episode I've not released, which I had recorded, I think, at the end of May.
Whoa, that is far.
Yes.
Wow.
The reason why I've been releasing weekly solo episodes is because I feel, okay, most of them are very timely, most of them are topical in a way. But I think you need to be in a certain space to release a conversation, however much you recorded it way back. So yeah, I have this amazing conversation I did, and I've not yet released it. And I keep telling myself I will release it this week, and then I don't. But I think I'm eventually releasing it this week.
Should I put you on pressure?
Yeah, so I think I need that pressure.
We don't want to enter 2023 with procrastination, you know.
I know. So it's been like I said, it's been a movie altogether 2022.
What are some of the things that you would want to carry into 2023?
One, I think the determination I had because truth is, I paid for my land without getting a loan.
Hey!
And
I handle so many mortgages, my friend. Congratulations. Wow.
And trust me, it is so hard to pay for land without getting a loan because you're living on the bare minimum. Like say if you've gotten a gig, because I'm a freelancer, and what we do as freelancer is most of the times we are paid for what we've done. We are not structured that you're going to earn 2 million a month, whether you've showed up to work or not. Like you have to show up every day to earn 2 million or more. So most of the times when you're paying for things like land without getting a loan, it's like you're earning 2 million and then you're spending 1.8 on paying for this thing. And then you're surviving on the 200K that remains. It's not a very easy way of living.
It's tight.
Yeah, it's tight.
You live on the 200K until you land another gig.
Yes. But I think the resilience that gave me is one of those things I would really want to carry into 2023. Because I feel like before that I've always been giving myself a soft landing. Yeah, so that resilience I would want to carry in 2023. Of course, I would want to collaborate more.
Do you want to collaborate with me?
I think this year I did collaborate. I want to collaborate in a lot of things. I will collaborate with you.
I'm bringing myself so fast.
Yes, we shall definitely do it. We shall do some collaborations.
Yay.
I'm trying to get big on content creation, both audio and video. I think I couldn't do that because, like, truth is I did not have money. Like, every money I was getting, I was spending it. So I couldn't venture into anything like that. And right now I feel like, I have some space to breathe. So
do you think it's the end?
I can.
What are the chances that you're going to buy more land?
It's not the end, but maybe I should tell you a story of how I ended up buying land. Like, when you're a millennial, when you're a millennial, the way you reason is, I start my own business, make a lot of money, and buy the land I want. But then your parents are not thinking the same. Ooh. And by your parents, I mean my mother. For my mother, it's you need to buy land. Like, there is not even an alternative for her. For her, you need to buy land because it's the most important thing. And so you're like, okay, let me pay for this land. Tell her, like, you see, I have land. Now I can go do whatever I want.
Yeah.
But of course, in the course of paying for the land, when you begin loving the place and you're like, okay, we must pay for this thing and finish it. And then, of course, even after talking to yourself, self-searching, you get to notice that, yes, maybe I wanted to open a business, but it could still fail, and yet you've lost the money.
Oh.
Like, at least when you buy land, there is a land. Like, there is land. You can just be like, much as I've yet to do anything on it, it does exist, and it appreciates.
Don't you feel like you're going to start planning for construction?
Yes, I will do it, but I've seen people build,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that's not something you're going to finish in a year.
Hey man, ish, hey.
Eh,
Someone has had
hey.
their building for over a decade. And
There is a person.
but at least you're assured of shelter and you're not paying rent. I think that's the safest bid.
Yes, that's so true.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, where I stay, there is a person who built. Okay, by the time I came in to start staying around,
Mm-hmm.
the house was under construction, and that house has been under construction, and they entered the house last week. Now, when I came here, where I stay, like I started staying alone in 2014.
Whoa, 8
So,
years. I think that
yes,
also
so
teaches
I
us
do-
patience. We don't have patience as millennials. We want
Yes, we
we
don't.
want instant things. So I think it's important for us to have something that pushes us to accept processes.
Yeah. So like I look at this house, and one of the things I think about is that I do not even know how long it had been under construction before I started living here. So yeah, like when it comes to a house, that's one thing you're not going to finish in a year. More so if you're earning as a Ugandan, even if you're self-employed, like our money is not the best. So for me right now, I know, like I have some freedom to try out things, to take risks with business, and I know it will work out.
Yeah. And what are the things that you don't want to carry into 2023?
Procrastination. Man.
What strategies have you put
how
down to beat the procrastination? Do you have any?
To tell you the truth, when it comes to that, that's one thing where I really need professional help. Like, you know how you take on a lot of things, and in your mind you're like, yeah, I'll be able to answer this, like I'll be able to go through this.
Yeah.
And for some reason, you do not, because you pushed one forward, and then after the forward, you had some other thing to do. But then I think one of the biggest things I have to do with, like, one, I have to throw away the whole Andrew Kaggwa. Like, it has to be perfect.
Superman.
like the more I've tried to make things perfect, is the more they stay on my table longer. And probably that's because, like, I want to usually present the best version of myself, and at times it works out, but then there are times you find yourself staying with the work way, way longer than it would have stayed with you, simply because you are trying to make it perfect.
Yeah.
Because there's a film script I worked on. There's nothing I've added on that script for the past 1 month. And I was supposed to submit it to one of those multi-choice things, and I did not submit it because I thought something was lacking. And then I sent it to someone who sent feedback yesterday and was like, this is nice, this is amazing. But personally, I feel something is lacking. And then I told them something is lacking. And then they were like, yeah, just wait for the audience to bash you for that. But I feel like it can work the way it is. But your biggest problem is you want to present it and it has your name. And everyone is like, yeah, this is amazing, which will never happen. There will be someone who will not like it, regardless of how good it is.
Yeah.
So I think I should loosen up on the whole perfection thing. Even when I was editing sports, some people do not know that I was editing sports during the World Cup.
Oh.
The busiest time. Yes, I was editing sports. I remember one of my supervisors told me, I'm having a problem with you trying to perfect everything. Like it's a newspaper, it comes out every day. Sometimes it comes with a mistake. We apologize for it the next day because you didn't intend it. But you're trying to make everything so clean. You want to make sure the line is here, which at times delays the entire set because one of the pages that are needed to be printed is not available yet.
Yeah.
So I think I want to at least slow down on the whole perfection thing.
Does that also does that look like you giving yourself the grace to be a human being, that you aren't perfect and you can come with flaws sometimes?
Yeah. I don't even know how to just start.
By being
I don't know.
By being kind the way how you can be kind. I don't know if you've been kind to me though. I wanted to use an example of being kind the way how you're kind to me, but I'm not sure.
As if you've been kind to me, you called me short.
But that's an adjective. And you?
Huh. I'm tall. In my mind, I'm tall.
In your mind? You identify as a tall person, yeah?
I identify. Wait, you see how the world operates, where people can identify as a man, as a woman. I can identify as a tall person.
Hey, my friend, I will respect that. I am going to respect that. 2023.
Sometimes I even identify as a Nigerian. Don't joke.
What message do you want to leave for the person listening into your 2022?
What do I want to leave them with? Okay. One, I think when we look at, when every year is ending, there's a way we say this year has been hard. We usually love saying that, but what we do not tell ourselves is that we made it that far because we are equally stronger. We are equally built to be that resilient. And I remember something I wrote in an editorial last year towards the end of the year, that the reason we made it this far is because we were strong enough to get through 2021 and 2020 before that, and the years before, which have at times been hard and more breaking emotionally.
The other years,
yeah. So I think for any listener out there, we cannot stop simply because life is proving to be hard. We just need to keep going, and we need to talk a lot. One of the other things I've done this year is I've talked a lot, talked to people a lot. Something I wasn't very comfortable with.
That is, by talking to people a lot, is that specifically the way how you feel in the particular moment?
Yes. Yes. Talking to people and actually telling people I really think I'm down.
Yeah.
And I cannot handle things anymore. We rarely do that. I don't know if you remember the time I gave social media a break. I gave Facebook a break.
I don't remember.
I just didn't announce it.
You stepped away.
Went off.
You did?
Yeah. I just stepped away because it was too much. But in between that time, I kept talking to people. And there is a lot that changes when you talk to people. So
yeah,
we need to talk to people. I think we need to stop asking people how they are doing, because for Ugandans, the chances are they will tell you they are fine.
They do.
We need to ask them how they are doing mentally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So whenever you ask someone how are you and they say they are fine, I think it's important to ask them, how are you doing mentally? Because then you might get a very, very, very different answer.
Right.
So, yeah, I talked a lot to people about how I was feeling at the time. And you see, one, probably we need to learn when to let go.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I told you, I lost a lot of friends. Some of them died, and then some of them did not die. Some are still there. Just humans you fall out with.
Yeah.
And since you've known them for a very long time, it hurts. But then you should just learn how to move on and be like, yeah, we shall not stay on this forever.
I mean, you got me.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Oh my goodness.
And that's how we are attacking 2023.
Yeah, so you're going. I'm assuming you're going to be talking to more people come 2023. We're carrying that forward as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely carrying that forward. I will record more. I think I might be more engaged with conversations. And yeah, I think I'll be reaching out more.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your 2022 with us. And I wish you the very best in 2023.
Yo, and all the best. Like, I was rooting for you when you were nominated for Best Podcast.
Me, I don't want to be nominated in Nankas again. What are those things called? Awards?
But then I couldn't root for you directly because I was one of the judges.
Oh, yeah. But I don't want to be nominated in those things again.
That was my entire fault. That was entirely my fault. The list I was given, I don't know what done the list. I was like, wait, I do not see Nabuguzi here, so I add you on the list and I make a very strong case.
Oh, about you brought me problems, though.
So, so yes, that was entirely my fault.
Wow. Look at you rooting for me without me knowing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But I don't want those things. Anything that requires Nanka's public links, no. I don't want.
I know.
But I appreciate you so much, and I'm happy that you formed part of my 2022. It's been a great experience of you in my life.
Thank you.
Yes.
Is this the part where I cry?
You have to.
Okay. We're not doing this.
Goodbye, Kaggwa.
Goodbye.
So that is it from Kaggwa. I don't know what 2022 looked like for you, and I don't know what you hope for in 2023, but I invite you to take a moment and have moments of reflection and assessment so that you can ably jump into 2022 with your badass self. Thank you for tuning into another episode of Hashtag with Nabuzi Chwanuka. If you loved what you heard, make sure you subscribe to Hashtag with Nabuzi Chwanuka in your podcast platform of choice and share it with your friends, loved ones, and everyone that you believe is affected by the millennial world around us. Also, feel free to share your insights about what connected with you on social media and be sure to tag us. We are at Hashtag with Nabuzi Chwanuka on Facebook and Instagram, and on Twitter our handle is at STNK Podcast. I can't wait to see you tomorrow in another moment of reflection with, hey, yes, I'm not going to mention the name. You'll just find out when the audio is published. Namaste.